What's poppin', everybody? This is the cartoon kid, Ray Rawlins, and we're continuing little Valentine's Day week with an episode of Rick and Morty from season 2, episode 3, and this one is called Auto Erotic Assimilation. Interesting naming from Rick and Morty, man. I personally been wanting to talk about more about Rick and Morty since season 4, I guess, had their little break, and I had a little taste of some Rick and Morty that I wanted to, get quenched. So why don't we check out the episode where, Rick wants to meet his little lover Unity, or where he runs into her. Alex, give us that episode breakdown before I keep rambling.
Well, you just gave me the episode breakdown. He ran into his ex-girlfriend or ex-entity, whatever you want to call it, Unity. And the long and short of it is, Rick is a very bad influence on her and gets her back into drugs and shit and starts wrecking the planet. So, because Summer and Morty is with him trying to get him to see what he's doing wrong, and at the same time, Summer's trying to um, free the people, thinking that Unity is like enslaving them and wants them to have their own individuality. And when they get their own individuality, they break out in a race war. So, but
Woo!
the long and short, eventually Unity realizes that she's not good with Rick and leaves him. So, my first part of this episode is I thought the idea of Rick being in a relationship with like a hive mind, multiple people in one body is interesting. It's like, I mean, I'm sure someone else has done it. Everyone has done everything somewhere, but I thought it was a really interesting idea and really interesting concept, I suppose. My question is, what sexuality does that make him? Because what
Ooh.
I mean is he if he's fucking the women and he's I don't know, did he do anything with the men too? Because that's technically unity too. So I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I gotta mention though, you forgot to mention that Beth and Jerry are over there freaking searching Rick's little lair, and they run into his little alien prisoner down there. They get into a whole big dispute of Beth basically taking Rick over Jerry, so Rick won't abandon her anymore. I gotta say, this isn't necessarily a Valentine's Day centered episode, but as a whole, with the whole Rick and Unity plot line and the Beth and Jerry plot line, man, freaking, this covers a lot of freaking love issues. It really does. So that's why we had to freaking toss this in there. And I didn't, honestly, I forgot all about this plot line before I watched it again. I'm like, oh, this is the episode where they have to run into that little prisoner dude in Jerry's garage or basement, whatever the heck you want to call it.
And I just want to say the monster sounds very very similar to
Uh
those
huh.
friggin' cave monsters what was in that episode where of SpongeBob. I don't know if you're seeing it, but it's this episode when Plankton finds these caverns underneath the chum
I
bucket
know.
and
Yeah,
open
I
them
think I
up.
know what you're. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Funny thing is, I wanted to say he sounded like an anime character. I don't know, but anyway, I gotta say, man, Rick is one fun motherfucker. Like to live a day in the life of motherfucking Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty, man, you finna be having some serious fun, okay? This man straight up gets high, drunk all day, every day, and it's just like I see why people love him, but he's very toxic in a way. He is very, very toxic. Um, I suppose we can get into moments right now. So, what are some of your standout moments of the episode?
Um, One of my stand-up moments is the friend zone of the hive mind. I forget what the name of it
It's
was,
like
man.
Beta 7 or something like
Yeah,
that.
Beta 7,
I
that's what
wanted
it
to
is.
call him Roger, but I'm thinking of the alien from American Dad.
But yeah, no, Beta 7 is right. And I just love that whole scene. It's like, oh, Beta 7 wants your relationship to be more than what did it say? Uh,
More
wh-
platonic or something like that.
no, it was a specific word he used. They want the relationship to be more than. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But the point is, I thought that scene was funny, and the race war was funny, especially how the moment when one of the guys asked them what races they were, and Marty pulls up his shirt, is like, we don't have any race, and someone's like, yeah, you could just take my word for it.
and they start chasing after them, and it's
Yeah.
it's because they don't have like nipple rings. It was like, I got 5 nipple rings. I'm the planet's superior race, and they start freaking brawling, yo. They start getting it in. This is like, damn, Summer, look what you started, man. I get why people want to be free and whatnot, but damn, you give people freedom, and this is the dumb shit they do. They start getting into it over races and shit because of classes, man. Shit. But it is a pretty interesting episode overall. I gotta say, I like the scene where it's just out of nowhere too. Like Rick and Unity start getting into it, kissing and whatnot. And he's like, wait. I want to have a whole, basically have a whole stadium full of like men who look like his dad, and he want them to be cheering him on as he's fucking Unity and shit. It's like, oh man, come on, Rick. See, I see what you're talking about, man. You want to showboat, have fun and shit, and it's just like, damn, man. You just look through this entire episode, you can see Rick's character on full display. Like, he just does not give a damn about nobody. Absolutely nobody but himself, in a sense. Like, it's real fucked up, too, because once all the whole race war shit happens nearing the end, Summer's like, come on, we need to go home, Rick. We need to go home. And Rick's like, man, fuck this shit. I'm staying here because, that's fucking paradise to him. He's having fun with Unity. He wants to be with Unity, being high, being drunk every day. He's like, man, fuck the family. Y'all ain't shit, basically.
Yeah, and I love the last scene though, because like you said, the entire episode is based around him not caring about anybody. But once Unity leaves him, he pretty much tries to kill himself at the end. Or
Yeah.
like passes out before the laser or whatever you want to call it hits him. And I just love everything about that scene, the music, just everything about it. That's my favorite scene of the episode. If you're going favorite scenes.
I gotta say, I like the scene where he was reading the note from Unity. And I mean, despite the whole funniness of, the different voices, coming in, you got the men voices and shit. It's like, I noticed I can't be with you for the same reason that I love you. You just won't change. And it's just like, damn, man. And obviously, when he comes back to Earth, Beth's telling him about her and Jerry going down to his little lair. And, he's just in agreement with everything. There's like no more excavations, no more alien prisoners. You got to consult with us first. And, he just gives in, like you said, because he was going to the garage to basically motherfucking kill himself. The little scene, because I got to mention this too. The little scene where they see that freaking alien monster in the basement. When he finally breaks free and he's just telling Beth and Jerry about themselves because they just got in a big ass argument, paying him no mind. He's like, man, fuck this. Basically ends up getting a translator that Rick had, and he's basically ends up chewing him a new asshole. He's like, man, I would not come back here to this planet because you're all fucking assholes. You guys are the worst of this planet. It's basically treating the hell out of them. So, and once again, obviously, Rick's character is on display because the alien did have space aids, as Jerry deemed it, and Rick only is using him so he can make a whole bunch of money to invent and sell a cure for the disease. So Rick once again being shown to be all about himself. And this is what I wonder. Okay, I remember when we did our first review of the series, Rick and Morty episode 1, and I remember saying, yo, Rick is a complete asshole, okay, to Morty. Complete asshole to Morty. But I can't say I don't like Rick. I think he's one of my favorite characters out of this entire series. I don't know why. I don't have an answer for you. It's just like if you see an asshole who is a protagonist of a series, it's just like, man, you want to root against them, but Rick has that cool personality that you want to root for him. Because, like I said, normally that's how I am. I was like, man, fuck this asshole. I hope he dies. Like, there's somebody, I forget who. Ah, damn. I'm drawing a big blank. Zach Brannigan. I know that's probably not the person who I'm thinking of. Like, he's a freaking cocky asshole. I'm like, man, I can never see myself getting behind this character. But there's another character from another series who has somewhat of the Rick personality who I just cannot stand. But for some reason, I see myself rooting for Rick all the time, man. Like, in this episode, though, it's just really portrayed that Rick is a total asshole. And I really freaking saw it once I rewatched it today. It's like, damn, how do people love this guy? But anyway, I guess we can get into final reviews now. What are your thoughts on this episode?
Well, I think this is a really enjoyable episode. Now, I will say I used to think what this episode was one of my favorites, but rewatching it again, I don't know. I
It's
think
not
I'm
that
more of a
special.
scene.
I never thought. Go ahead.
I think I'm more of a yeah. Shut up, you damn bastard. Let me talk. Um, I'm more of a fan of the ending than anything, I think, and that kind of distorts my view of the episode as a whole because I think that's a really, really great ending and a really nice. Well, I guess nice is the wrong word, but it's a really well done emotional moment from music to tone and everything.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, there's a lot of interesting concepts, a lot of funny and interesting stuff happens. So overall, I think I'm gonna give this episode a 6.5.
All right. All right. All right. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I never, like I said, I was never a huge fan of this episode. I mean, obviously it had its enjoyable moments, but it felt like a nice one-off regular episode of Rick and Morty. It's definitely not one of my favorites, but rewatching it today, I really took in like the poeticness of this episode. And maybe that's the improper word to use. But like I said, like looking at this from a reviewer's lens, you actually get to see, like I said, once again, Rick's character on full display here and how he's a total asshole. I must say too that this episode had plenty of good moments. The whole you can see Rick's persona being displayed with his family members, and he finally comes to grips near in the end. Like you said, nice, real epic scene where he basically tries to kill himself. It's just like, damn. But like I said, this episode was never really one of my favorites. I'm kind of right there with you. I'll give it a nice 6.5. Would I watch it again? Maybe. But there's plenty of other Rick and Morty episodes that are better than this. But my name is Ray Rawlins. I give this a 6.5, and he's Alex Payne. He also gives it a 6.5. That has been our review of Season 2, Episode 3 of Rick and Morty called Auto Erotic Assimilation. Interesting name once again, but hey, that's Rick and Morty. They always got them interesting names for your head top. This is the Cartoon Kid channel where we talk cartoons and we do it daily. And as always, toss your opinions down in the comments box below. Tell us if you like it, tell us if you hate it, and tell us what you would rate it. But until then, we will see you when we see you. Peace out, everybody.